Good afternoon and welcome along to Matchday Live here on Foxes Hub with me, Dan Bates, David Nugent and Jerry Taggart join me in the studio as the Foxes, for the first time in what feels like a while, are away from home, away from King Power Stadium. They make the relatively short trip down to North London to face Tottenham Hotspur, who themselves are not in the best run of form either, certainly in the Premier League. Nuge and Jerry, we'll get reactions to team news in just a moment, but we'll check in with the two of you first. Jerry, after two disappointing home games in the Premier League, it's fair to say, Leicester travel, and it might suit them to travel today. Yeah,
you know, there's always a glimmer of hope, Dan, isn't there? And today, you know, Leicester, on paper, it's a tough game against Tottenham, but you know, their form hasn't been great in recent weeks either, and especially at home as well. So there is a glimmer of hope, and as you say, there might be a little bit of pressure taken off Leicester. All the pressure will be on Tottenham to try and find some decent form. So yeah, they've got to somehow believe that they can get something out of this game today.
Yeah, Nuge, welcome back. We didn't have you for either of those two home games, did we? So it's good to have you back on the sofa. I'm sure you kept an eye on the results, which were disappointing. But as Jerry says, it's all about going again, isn't it, today?
Yeah, it is. No, we looked at these two home games and we have trying to pick up some points and try and get up the table, but obviously disappointing results in the end. You know, from what I believe, you know, the two first halves were pretty good performances, but just not consistent enough to take over that 90 minutes. You know, we seemed to have, it was like early on in the season as well, we really have one good half, one really poor half. I think we've gone back to that. You know, two really good halves at home, couldn't really take our chances. Second half we come out a different team and we lose the game, but as we said before, and Jerry said, Tottenham are not in the best of form as well, you know, and you just don't know what Tottenham team are going to turn up, as is Leicester. So, you know, it could be one of these games where you think, on the outside, everyone thinks Leicester are going to get beat, but we know in our camp that, you know, we've got what it takes to, you know, to come to somewhere like Tottenham and win the game.
And bizarrely, even after 7 Premier League defeats in a row, there is still a real togetherness in the group. I mean, you heard it from Conor Cody. A lot of people might have listened to the latest podcast, Jerry, with yourself. He says that there is confidence in the group.
And you know, the other thing that I forgot to say, but I'll say it now, is that, you know, we're getting a little bit of help from a couple of other teams down there who keep losing as well. So, you know, it's an opportunity for Leicester to take advantage, you know, today from the couple of teams that are down there losing. Obviously, Everton won yesterday, big win for them, which doesn't help us. But, you know, with Wolves and Ipswich getting beat, then that is a glimmer of hope for Leicester. So, you know, you add that up to Tottenham's home form, or general form, let's say, never mind the home form, then you've got to try and believe that there's something in it for them today.
Yeah, a lot of people might think that it's a banker home win, isn't it? But actually we know, and you look at the form of Tottenham particularly, and Leicester can go there and really do something.
Yeah, especially, I think the way Tottenham play as well, I think Vard's will be licking his lips if they play this high line. You know, but we've got to play to our strengths there then. You know, we can't just play out from the back. We need to get the ball forward early, get the ball in behind when they're going to play a high line. And let Vard still, you know, we still got the pace to get in behind and score goals. So we need to utilise that as much as we can today.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy with a very good record, of course, against Tottenham Hotspur as well. We've got plenty more from Nuge and from Jerry as we build up to kickoff here on Matchday Live. We'll hear from Jannik Vestergaard. We're talking about that togetherness, that hunger to win. He's been speaking to the press this week, as of course, as his manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy. We'll hear a snippet of his pre-match press conference, and we'll also take a closer look at Tottenham. 1 win in their last 10 Premier League games. We can hear from their manager, Ange Postecoglou. Before we do any of that, though, let's get all of this afternoon's team news, the all-important team news, of course. And Ruud van Nistelrooy has decided to make one change to the side that lost a week ago to Fulham. That change comes in the forward areas. Out goes Steffi Mavididi, in comes Bobby De Cordova-Reid on that left-hand side. So this is the 11 then. It's Stolarczyk in goal, Christensen, Vestergaard, Fass and Justin across the back four, Winks and Samare in midfield with De Cordova-Reid, El Khanous and Jordan Ayew in behind that man, Jamie Vardy. On the bench, it's Everson, Cody, Akoli, Mavididi, Daka, Skip, Koulibaly, we might see him for the first time in a Leicester shirt, Casey McAteer and Facundo Buonanotte. From a Tottenham Hotspur point of view, I mentioned that poor run that they're on. Ange Postecoglou, though, they are coming off the back of a victory in midweek. They won 3-2 away at Hoffenheim in Europe, which is a really important result for them, particularly in their European conversation. They make 2 changes to that team. In comes the goalkeeper, Kinski, who is cup-tied for that game. So he returns for the Premier League. They signed him in January. In as well comes Pape Sarr. He was a doubt for this game through injury. He makes a return though, but out goes in the whole squad actually. James Maddison. He was played a starring role in that game in midweek, a goal and an assist away in Germany, but presumably again he misses the game today. So they've got Kinski in goal, Gray, Davis, Dragusin and Porro across the back 4. Bentancur and Sarr are the midfield 2, with Son, Bergvall and Kulusevski supporting their star man, if you like, in Heung-min Son. Well, they're both teams. We're going to obviously, though, for now, concentrate on Leicester. Nuge and the team news from a Leicester point of view. The one change, I guess, is where you naturally look. Bobby De Cordova-Reid coming in, Steffi Mavididi going out. Is that a case of Premier League experience, do you think? What's the thoughts behind that one?
I think Rue's just trying to win a football game. You know, maybe you think Bobby De Cordova-Reid maybe will work harder in the defensive areas. You know, tracking back. You know, he's got a lot of energy. But we might lose that spark going forward. Maybe Rude, you know, is thinking it's his chance to shine. You know, no wins, well, 1 win in 9. You know, he just thinks he's got to make changes to try and help the team in any positive way, and that this might
Yeah, I think what he will bring, he's got Premier League nice, hasn't he?
Yeah.
De Cordova-Reid. He picks up good spaces and good areas, and I think if watching the last few games and seeing El Kanous pulling out to the left-hand side, so there may be a little bit of interchange in positions between them two. You know, he's never going to beat Pearl for pace as he read down that left-hand side, and that's obviously something that Steffi Mavididi has bags off. But I think it's just a little bit more nice, and obviously, as Dave said, without the ball, it's so important that Leicester keep their shape and be disciplined, and don't let that shape get bedraggled and get dragged all over the place, because in the last 2 home games, we've seen that a bit, especially in the second half, where they were just getting pulled out of position and they didn't keep the discipline in the shape. So maybe there's a slight essence of that coming into play as well.
So you would have thought, though, that Mavididi would have been suited better for this game, wouldn't you? With Porro running so forward in their high line. But, we just don't know what Rude's thinking here. But, even Casey McAteer as well. There's so many different options to go. You try and win the game, but your best players going forward, or do you try and stay in the game and try and hit them on a counter-attack?
Yeah,
I think he's going for the latter.
There's 2 different players. Obviously, De Cordova-Reid has had to adjust his game in recent times. He hasn't got that pace or that sharpness that he used to have. Mavididi obviously has that pace, sharpness, and when he's on song, he's a threat to any fullback. But De Cordova-Reid has just got that little bit of, here's a little space, I can go and drag someone out, or drag someone out of position, leave a gap for somebody else, or if they don't follow him, he's in good urge. He scored a couple of goals from picking up really good areas inside the box.
That's a good point.
And that's something that we haven't been able to do in the last few games, obviously because we haven't scored. So he'll bring that threat as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned McAteer, you mentioned the high line, Steffi Mavididi. Actually, potentially then, is Rude thinking, get it to 60 minutes, Spurs are going to really be desperate to get a victory. They're going to be pushing forward, all the players pushing forward, high line, bang, then you've got Mavididi and McAteer, fresh legs.
Daka as well. I'm looking, if you compare the benches today, I think their players, all their players are playing 90 minutes today. There's not one player on their bench where you think he's going to come on and change the game, because they're all youngsters.
Yeah, they've got injury problems, haven't they?
And
I'm saying, I'm looking at the subs bench and you're thinking,
no one there.
I don't really recognise any of these
got Reggie on that, is it? The left back. He's not going to come on and change the game, is he? So young Mikey Moore, that's about it.
And again, it's a good point. The subs have to be ready to come on and make an impact. And that is all part of the cat and mouse game that managers and head coaches play now in today's football, is keep your shape, especially away from home, and especially with the position that Leicester are in. They have to be disciplined without the ball and try and hang on in there or cling on in there. That's the mindset. I'm not saying they're going to go there and do that. They might, surprise us all, but if that's the mindset, you're second from bottom, lost 7 on the bench. We need to be disciplined. We need to be hard to break down.
Organised.
And then we'll suss the game out, see how it's going, and then hopefully we're still in the game and we can bring some pace on and some threat on.
You said before off camera, like the 2 teams that have come here have been organised in the previous 2 games. That's what we need. We need to be organised in this game. Don't let anyone, roam out of position.
And really, that starts, if you like, from the front 3, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. If we can stop them from playing out, which they like to do, and win the ball up high, it'll help us so much, going forward. We won't have to build up. We win it high. We build from there. The defenders haven't got to do too much work then.
You've seen it. I mean, Leicester against Crystal Palace in the first half, causing all kinds of problems. Crystal Palace just tweaked it at half time. The 2 wide players, they just tweaked their positioning slightly, and it just stopped Leicester in their tracks. And then Leicester just sort of lost that discipline, that shape, when they didn't have the ball.
Start getting frustrated.
Start getting frustrated.
Doing stuff that you don't want to do.
Correct. Things started to break down in their own half instead of in the opposition's half. Palace go on and win the game. And the same with Fulham on the Saturday. So that's why it's so important. If things aren't going your way, okay, we stay strong, we stay disciplined, we stay organised, and we go again when we get the chance.
Yeah, that's
just win ugly. I think that's what we need. And it's not an ugly win. Just horrible. No one cares how we play. Just get that 3 points on the table and we can build on it.
Yeah, 3 points are so vital, aren't they, at the moment? And you can see what that would do to the table. It would send Leicester out of the bottom 3 as well, which when you look at it, 7 defeats in a row in the league, you'd think you'd be miles off it. You're not. It's just 1 win, Jerry. And maybe that is the messaging, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, as I say, there's so many positives going into this game today. One, Dave's mentioned, you look at Tottenham's bench, they've got bags of injuries. Okay, they've got a pretty strong starting lineup, in fairness to them. Tottenham's home record isn't great. The other teams in and around Leicester lost yesterday. So you have to try and grab hold of these little positives, these little glimmers of hope, glimmers of light, and you have to try and run with them and get your mindset right, get it in your head that you're going to be really hard to break down, because the other teams are still giving you a chance to drag yourself out of this.
Yeah, they probably watched the results yesterday and thought that themselves, Nuge.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it gives you that little bit more of energy when you go into the game the next day. You see Wolves getting beat, you see Ipswich getting beat. It gives you that hope going in. So if we get a positive result, we climb above them in the table. That's what we want. And that 3 points it's just something to build on in it. And as you said, Tottenham have not been great recently. Home record's not the best. It's a great opportunity to go out there and try and get something today. Yeah,
let's hear from a member of the first team squad. Then Jannik Vestergaard has been talking about exactly that, the desire and the hunger to pick up all 3 points and end this run that Leicester are on.
These past weeks and months have been a work in progress, and although we haven't rewarded ourselves, I feel like we have had a development. I think we have progressed from just before Christmas, where we had some questionable performances. We had some good performances that haven't given any points, but we have steadily been improving, and then two home games that have been quite disappointing, especially in terms of the outcome, but also in our ability to play well for 90 minutes and not only in spells. And I think a lot of our focus is mentally to be ready and able to play 90 competitive minutes. We've been in the games at halftime and in all of them, bar Wolves at home. But apart from that, we've been competing, and in some cases we tell ourselves that we've been better than the opponent. We haven't rewarded ourselves for this, and I think that's probably been the main focal point for us, that we perform over 90 minutes and that we take our chances when we get them, and at the same time not be as vulnerable and concede what we consider have been easy goals.
How much are you missing that winning feeling? How it's been nearly a couple of months. It'd be great to rediscover it.
we're quite hungry for it. There's a lot of frustration in the dressing room with the lack of wins. So very, very desperate to get that winning feeling, and it's not something that we focus on what other teams are going through. We see it as an opportunity, and we want to go to Tottenham and take something, and whatever that may be, we'll see. But we're definitely going there with the desire to take something back home.
That was Jannik Vestergaard there, speaking ahead of the game. And he's speaking about basically what we've been talking about, really. He used the word desire, he used the word hunger, and that's clearly what they do have in the group, Jerry, and they're going to need it.
Yeah, and he also mentioned the mindset as well, making sure that mentally they're prepared to play for the full 90 plus minutes. And, he's been honest enough there, Jannik, to say that, they're playing well in halves of games and that. And, that is the key. The key is to, and we've just spoken about it, is to try and stick in there for as long as possible. And then you get the cavalry coming on, so to speak, and that gives you an extra lease of life, some fresh legs, and hopefully galvanises the team. But they have to be prepared to dig a few bunkers and hunker down and get ready, for an onslaught.
Just like them two first 45 minutes where you play well and you go in at half time, you must be thinking like, go out there and do it again. Yeah. Like in your head, like you just done it for the first half, go out and do it again for the second half. I don't know if they lose confidence in by not killing the teams off in the first half. And you go in and think, oh no, we got another 45 minutes now. What we got to do? But
that's a good point. It's a good point. If you don't get the rewards you probably think you deserve in the first 45 minutes, then sometimes that can affect your confidence going out in the second half. But you've got to try and let that go, because that's sometimes it's the worst thing in football when you have a half-time break, isn't it? When you think you're flying, when you're on top of the game. So you have to get past that.
Spurs as well, you look at the goalkeeper situation that they've had. They've obviously had a number of injuries in that position. Fair play to Tottenham. They've had to deal with a lot of injuries. So have Leicester. A lot of people forget about that. The likes of Fatawu, Ricardo, long-term absentees, Mads Hermansen, Ndidi missing him. Indeed, these are four massive players that probably start most games, don't they, really, for Leicester?
I think Ruud's come out and said, Danny, about Ndidi's all, saying he's so important for the team, what he does for the team. And I think him and Mads Hermansen, obviously Fatawu, long-term, he will be a big loss. But I think the keeper and Ndidi hold midfield, the energy he brings, I think they're three massive key players missing out. Yeah,
and also his leadership qualities, which, again, when things aren't going well, who you're looking at to try and galvanise and keep everybody together. Wilfred Ndidi's plays an important role doing that, and that's also another side of the game which Leicester can improve on.
Yeah, which is, I guess, that there's room for improvement in a couple of different areas. Really, scoring goals is something that we haven't then seen. Earlier in the season, actually, Leicester were scoring in most games, weren't they? We've just not seen them hit the back of the net with the regularity in recent games that they should. But I was just mentioning the Tottenham keeper, obviously a young goalie. He's just signed, made his debut against Liverpool, kept a clean sheet, did well, didn't he? But then he could still be put under pressure,
I watched Tottenham Arsenal, and I think he gave the ball away in the first 5 occasions when he got the ball. He's confident on the ball, but a bit too lackadaisical sometimes. He just takes that too much time on the ball. If we can, put him under pressure. If you give him 10 seconds on the ball, he'll be the best keeper in the world. But if you put him under pressure, you seen what he was like against Arsenal.
21's young for goalies.
Yeah, and these are all points that Ruud will know, and he should be passing it on to the players. Is put him under pressure, or let him have the ball. Don't let him have the ball. So, these are all things that Ruud will have picked up on and pass on to the players. So, hopefully, we get some joy today.
And is that where the likes of Bobby De Cordova-Reid is going to be vital because of that experience that he's got, and he knows maybe when to go, when not to go?
Yeah, potentially, because I think he has played as a striker in his career as well, so he knows he's going to. I think he'll be in the box more than Steffi, as Jerry said earlier. I think Cross is coming into the box, he has to be at that back post from the right hand side. If crossing from the right, he's got to be at that back post, and I think that striker instinct will put him in there, where Steffi will want to hang out, get the ball to feet and dribble, take people on. I think in that way it will help us get more players in the box and hopefully score more goals.
Yeah, Jerry, obviously The last two home games haven't been good. They both followed the same pattern, haven't they? 0-0 at half-time with Leicester looking very much in the game. Both have ended in 2-0 home defeats. Obviously, last week was the Fulham game, in particular in that second half. What were you really the most disappointed in seeing? Obviously, the goals themselves were pretty soft.
Yeah. I'm sick of speaking about soft goals, really. So again, it's another opportunity for the guys who, are at the back, to try and eliminate soft goals. Okay, Tottenham have a pretty good front line, in fairness to them, coming out today. And so Leicester are going to be under pressure. But, if you can eradicate those soft goals, then again, it's giving you a platform. The longer you go 0-0 away from home, especially, then the more confidence it should breed into the team. So it's vital that nothing simple or nothing easy is given away today. And obviously, with the way Tottenham plays, the fans will get on their back. We know that. They'll start moaning and groaning. So they'll be desperate to try and get on the score sheet. And with the way they play anyway, then that should leave gaps for Leicester to hopefully exploit at the other end.
Yeah, Jakub Stolarczyk, we're just seeing a couple of shots of him warming up on this screen in front of us there. We can obviously send those to you. There he is in goal. He's got a slightly unwanted record of becoming the first Premier League goalkeeper in history to concede 2 goals in each of his first 5 appearances. But I actually think he's done well in the games that he's come in. That's a record no goal he obviously wants, but actually, it's not like he's been horrendous, Jerry, has he? It's quite unfortunate that he's got that record.
I can't remember every goal that's been scored against him, but I've never sat and watched the game and thought, oh, he could have done better there, or he should have done better there. So that tells me that there's not really a lot he could have done about the majority, if not all, the goals that he's conceded. Which
suggests then the defence they will have faith in what's behind him.
Yeah.
Behind them, because they know he is a good goalkeeper.
He comes for crosses, and he comes early. He's a big, strong. He loves a good punch. He's good at punching. He's good at catching it. He's a decent shot stopper. Okay, he hasn't refined his footwork, but who cares about that? Whether he can play out from the back like Mads can. Well, I'm not bothered about that. I'm just bothered about Leicester keeping the ball out of the net. And that is the most important thing today. Forget about all the other paraphernalia that surrounds football. This has to go beyond looking pretty. At times, if not the majority of the time, Leicester have to go beyond that, in my opinion. And that might be a dinosaurial view, but it doesn't change. It still works. You still have managers in the Premier League playing that style of football to make sure that they get themselves over the line. So Stolarczyk, for me, not a massive issue, really. As I say, I don't think you can blame him for the majority, if not all, the goals.
I don't think the fans will care as well if they win ugly. I think the fans are just getting sick and tired of losing now, like everybody else is. If we can just go out there and just put 11 men behind the ball, hit them on a counter-attack, win 1-0 and just defend for 75 minutes, nobody will care. Because, we need to show that fight and determination to keep a clean sheet, and if we can do that, everyone will go home happy, no matter how bad we played.
Dan, first game, Ruud van Nistelrooy came in, West Ham at home.
Ugly win.
Okay. Ugly win. That's what I want to see. That's what Dave Nugent wants to see, and he's a centre forward.
And we conceded a lot of chances in that game as well. Yeah. West Ham had loads and loads of chances, but it was diehard defending, weren't it?
Unbelievable defending. And that's what I want to see today, and I'll be the first to stand up and doff my cap.
We've just seen Harry Winks on the screen warming up at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. There's a little bit of added needle for him, I guess, going back to Tottenham. He'll have a point to prove, won't he, against his former club?
Yeah. It's always, some people always like to go back and prove a point, don't they? I think he's been quality for Leicester. He always wants to get on the ball, always wants to dictate play. Always wants to play forward. So, it's a chance for him to to prove to Tottenham that obviously he wanted the league to play first team football because he couldn't get it there. But Leicester give him that chance, and in the I thought he was excellent in the Championship when we got promoted. It's hard when you're in a relegation dogfight. It's really hard to to implement your style of play in a team that's struggling. But for what I've seen so far, I think he's been brilliant.
Yeah, it's a big game for him. he's been at Tottenham since he was a kid. You know, came through the academy, all that bang, 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 and then finds himself out of the team for whatever reason, then out of the club. So emotional time for him today, without a doubt. But let's hope his emotions are on the right side of the line, basically.
Yeah, he's the type of character that absolutely he will want to go there, get a win and perform well, Jerry, against his former team.
I have no doubt whatsoever that you know, it'd be a fella in his cap if he can try and, you know, steer Leicester, you know, to a win today or a result, because he, you know, let's face it, he's Leicester's most technical player on the ball. It's as simple as that. You know, he is the pivot, whatever you want to call it, the quarterback. He's the link between the back line and the front line. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Skip on the bench as well. Did you say Skip? Yeah, Skip on. So he's obviously he's Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
So
there's that element.
Come on and wanting to prove a point as well. Yeah,
in there as well. You can see the cameras obviously panning to that man, Bobby Decordova-Reid. If you are just joining us here on Matchday Live, we're reacting to the team news that he starts for the Foxes today. On that left-hand side, Steffi Mavididi on the bench. The man next to him, of course, Bilal El Khanous. He's just in behind Jamie Vardy. So it's Ayew, Decordova-Reid, and Bilal El Khanous in behind Jamie Vardy. Experience in their Premier League experience. Bilal, obviously, the exception to that, but he has looked really good, hasn't he? He might flitter in and out of games, Jerry. That's to be expected of a young player. But
correct.
But he's looked very bright.
Yeah, and you know, it's a difficult situation he finds himself in. But again, he's got to understand, and I'm sure he does understand. I'm sure the manager's told him that just how important he is to this team, along with Harry Winks, because them two, any good stuff that I've seen over the last few games, it's been Winks, Buonanotte, and El Khanous who have been at the centre of it. And getting Leicester on the front foot and getting them up the pitch and getting them in the goal scoring opportunities. So yeah, vital for him. But you know, it's his first season in the Premier League. It's not going according to plan so far for him, but he is a standout player for Leicester.
Yeah, hopefully he can do it today away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Spurs. It'd be nice to get a goal against Spurs, which is something that you've both done.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry
as well as Matt Elliott. We'll catch up with Matt in just a moment.
Never mind him.
He's on co-commentary duty for us. It's great that all three of you have scored goals against Tottenham. Before, when we were in one of the VTs, the producer came in, Nuge asked for his goal against Tottenham. Jerry didn't say a word, did you, Jerry?
No.
You just know that we'd have it ready.
I didn't. I forgot all about it. I scored the winner. Yeah. 3-2.
Well, we can take a look at it, Jerry.
Yeah, it's an absolute rasper and all.
Yeah,
left footer.
Would you say it's possibly the best goal of your career?
No.
Here we go.
Going
to Nugent
that's a young Jerry, that, isn't it? Oh, mine's all right, let's get off the way. Look at that, get off.
Look at that strength. Oh, that's decent. Mine's is better than finishing that, though.
Yeah, just shame it made a 4-3. Shame it wasn't the winner.
Oh, mine was
That's
the winner.
a good finish. Straight to get the ball. Was that...
Get off.
Is that Jan Vertonghen there?
Vertonghen, mate, get off, mate. Yeah.
Very good.
Nicely in the near post. Here we go.
Here we go.
Look at that.
HD.
Yeah, HD. Steve Guppy. Chest down. Oh.
Look at that.
Oh, same corner though.
Look at that.
Oh, celebration as well. Stand up
One
tall.
for the cameras, that, Jerry.
I didn't know what to do. I thought, what am I doing there for a start? Yeah, and then watch here as the ball just drops to me. I think, oh, just hit it.
Well, outside of the boot, wasn't there, Jerry?
Yeah,
I just hit it. Look at keeper, no chance.
Miss it badly.
World class keeper as well in that.
It wasn't all smiles for you though, Nuge, that game away at Spurs, was it? You said that it was a shame that was only to make it 4-3. Tottenham were 4-3 up there. There's a reason why Tottenham were 4-2 up at that stage already, wasn't there, Nuge? Why is that?
Penalty. I don't think it's a penalty really, but
it's a bad touch, isn't it? It's not a penalty. It's a stone wall, isn't it?
It's a forwards touch.
Crap referee.
With his weaker left foot.
Mr. VAR.
Let's have a look here.
No, he kicked away his right. I thought you had it on you.
No, I've kicked the ball away.
Yeah, you haven't. You didn't know what to do, basically. You thought, shall I boot it away or shall I take a touch and try and dribble out? And you didn't make your mind up quick enough.
If you're Danny Rose there, you're screaming for a penalty.
Yeah, 100%, but it wasn't a penalty.
I think we can absolutely agree that it definitely...
It was a pen because the referee gave it.
Yeah, but at least you went up the other end and scored.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's a shame it was all too little too late. Back on again.
I had an assist in that game as well. Have you got that?
No, we've not got that.
Sorry. Just to end on a positive.
Yeah. No, it's nice actually to end it on a negative for you, Nish, because usually it's just a goal that we see of yours, isn't it? Sometimes we'll stitch Jerry up with a piece of defending maybe, but there we go, that wasn't...
Goals were pretty rare for me, weren't they?
But back to 2025, Leicester then, of course. I think we've got Matt, actually. He is in position for us at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Matt, we've just been reminiscing on a Jerry Taggart goal, a Nugent goal, but we're going to ask you about this current group. Firstly, how was the trip down? How is the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? And how confident are you that Leicester can get something from this game today?
Afternoon, chaps. Yeah, the journey was... Not traumatic at all, actually, quite nice and steady, a couple of hours or so. The stadium is absolutely magnificent. I mean, I've been here a couple of times now from memory, and but I don't remember it being as spectacular as it is. I mean, we're so high up here in this media position. You know, you're going a little bit dizzy, and there's a little bit of vertigo going on, but it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's, you know, what an occasion, but you know, what an arena more to come and play your trade at week in, week out for the home team, for Tottenham Hotspur players, but for Leicester City players, supporters. It really is sort of an event as well. But you've got to focus the mind, haven't they, the Leicester City players? And they'll be used to playing in decent surroundings, but they don't want to get too used to playing in situations where they're under as much pressure as they are at the moment, because there's a big initiatives, to go out there and perform, and even if they don't perform particularly well, they've got to grind a result out this afternoon, haven't they?
Hi Matt, it's Jerry here. How you doing, pal?
Hello, son.
Right.
I'm okay, mate. I'm not having you, by the way, pretending that you forgot about that Tottenham goal and you didn't know it was on the way.
I didn't. I really didn't. But anyway, less of that. Anyway, Matt, what's your reading of the situation with Deco Doveri coming in for Mavididi today?
Yeah, well, there's that side of things, and also I'm sure I've missed the majority of your discussion so far, I'm afraid. So apologies for that. But with Buonanotte as well, isn't it? Not being selected. So both those, I suppose, you could encompass in the same discussion to a degree, and I don't know. I look at it. I mean, with the team selection as a whole in general, I suppose you're just looking for that solidity, isn't he? That reliability as much as he can. Buonanotte and Mavididi can give you that something extra in certain moments, but those moments aren't being provided often enough, have they? And I think perhaps he looks at it and thinks dependability possibly tags from my point of view, although I do have to say, if things don't go well today, then listen, managers make big decisions, don't they? But it brings a bit of extra pressure on the scenario as well, doesn't it? Because a lot of supporters are fans of Buonanotte and Mavididi, even though he hasn't, been on top form in the Premier League. But it's certainly a big decision. But Deco Doveri, he's a good, solid professional, isn't he? I'm sure he's been applying himself well in training. The manager feels he deserves a chance.
Okay.
Yeah, no, go on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just going to ask him about his away day feast, if he's had anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Have you had anything special to eat down at
Feast.
Tottenham?
Feast is the word, Gerald. Feast is the word.
Go on then.
Mate, it's the best stadium in the country. It's the best canteen. I can't even call it a canteen. Best restaurant area, mate. Canteen is too basic a description. Mate, they even do different shifts of food here. Like if you get here a little bit early, which is not my forte, you get the breakfast option, which I know some of our colleagues enjoyed. But then if you turn up a little bit later, at lunchtime and beyond, 12 o'clock, the roast pork came out. Oh, mate, all the trimmings, all the crackling.
Yeah.
Apple sauce. I had 4 slabs of pork.
Wow.
Yeah, after a bit of cajoling with the fine young lady behind the counter. I ripped my luncheon voucher into 2, pretending it was 2. In half, sorry, pretending there was 2. But yeah, talk to into that. The roast potatoes are like,
beautiful.
Each one is the size of half a jacket potato. So I had to have one of those with each slab of pork. And the red cabbage came out, the broccoli. Chris Parrott, commentator, is just nodding his head in approval here. Then there was salted caramel custard on chocolate sponge option with like, or there was a cheesecakey trifle option, or all this like spread of different cheeses. And you know what, Tags, you're going to be disappointed in me. I ate that many slabs of pork and half jacket potato roasties. I couldn't even sample the desserts.
Surprised that code's zipped up, mate.
I'm sure you'll go back. You'll go back again later,
Half-time.
Matt.
Oh yes. Even though we're on the 5th floor. The food is on the 1st floor, and the lift was full. So I didn't climb up the stairs. I just waited half an hour for the lift to turn up. But
right, let's go back
beautiful.
to simpler times for you, Matt. We've seen the Jerry goal. We've seen the Nuge goal against Spurs. Did you think that we'd leave you out, or did you think we'd go back to it, Matt? Well, we've got yours as well, which we can quickly.
Little flick header, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vaguely remember. There was that many, I lose track.
Well, no celebration again from you, Matt. Just a little jog back.
What's with the no celebration? Were you getting beat?
No, I nearly signed for Tottenham, so I didn't want to.
Okay.
No, not at all. I don't know. I think we must have. Yeah, surely I'd be a bit happier than that, wouldn't I, if I'd scored a winner or something. But I think, was the game when you scored, Tags? Was that
3-2.
After we'd lost in the final?
No,
Tony
we
Cottee
won.
scored that day, didn't he?
That was a different one, wasn't it? Different one. Because that, I would have been celebrating for sure with that one. When we...
No, it was the season we won the cup. And then we played Tottenham. Or I might have been before the cup final.
Oh, perhaps it was a bit of a non-event.
3-2, Muzzy scored 2, and I scored the winner.
Yeah, but we beat them when we won the cup as well.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe that's why I didn't celebrate. It was a bit of a non-event after scoring 2 in the final.
Oh dear. Right, well, on that note, Matt, we're going to say goodbye to you. Thank you very much for hearing from you on commentary duty alongside Chris Parrott at kickoff, which is just over 20 minutes away. Let's hear from the Leicester City manager now then, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Matt was just alluding to him there with the team selection that he's made. Ayew, Cordova-Reid and El Khanous are in behind Jamie Vardy. That's the sort of headline team news, if you like, heading into this one. And Ruud van Nistelrooy was talking in the week about the togetherness and the importance of that togetherness as we head into the final few months of the season.
Our responsibility is to keep working, to stay united as a team, and our performances can ignite something in the support and ignite a belief and hope. That's on us. I can only hope that because we all know what real support can do to players on a pitch, that the 12th man effect can. I only hope that it can happen, and that the players are supported whilst they're giving it their all, and you can feel that the entire club is united, fans and players, and that's only a thing that I can hope for. But it's also up to us.
How difficult is it to lift the players' mentality when you've lost 7 on the spin? Because winning's a great habit, but losing's a really bad habit. How difficult has that been for you?
No, it's about character. Analyze the games, address what has to be improved and what has been good, and move on to the next and keep going and show character, prepare in training, ready to perform to your very best in games, and that is the process of being a footballer, being in this job. and that's what it's about. And especially in these difficult moments, it's about staying together and keep believing and keep working hard. It's the only way to get out, and this squad is aware of that and are doing that.
Spurs you got this weekend. They've lost 5 of their last 6 league games. Is it a good time to play them?
As I said before, every game you're going to play is a game on its own. And that's the approach. It starts 0-0, a clean slate, everything's open, you know. So that history of games doesn't say a lot to me. Also for us, we know where we are in. But Sunday is a new game and a new chance to perform, to show what we can do, and that's the focus on Sunday.
I mean, the fact they've obviously not had great form themselves, in terms of your preparation, I know you prepare differently for every single game, but you might look at sort of some of their performances and think, we can get at them.
We prepare every game to try and win it, as well as this one, and to get a result. So that doesn't change. You look at the players are available for yourself and for the opponent, and you make a game plan to get the maximum out of us and to get results. And that's the focus also on Sunday.
That was Ruud van Nistelrooy there. Again, we're talking about that togetherness, Jerry. It's a recurring theme. I don't want to keep going back to it, but I think it is an important point, and it is something that clearly Ruud van Nistelrooy, he himself, is wanting to hammer home.
It's very easy, Dan, that when results aren't going your way, it's very, very easy to lose the dressing room. I've been there on more than one occasion where, you know, you get people pointing fingers, Chinese whispers, all the rest of it going off because people are digging other people out, but they're doing it in silence. They're not doing it openly. Now, if that's the case, what's Ruud saying about that, then that will hopefully go some way to try and helping this team, this squad of players get themselves out of trouble, because it's the most important thing you have at the football club is what goes on inside that dressing room between the players and some of the staff as well. So it's vitally, vitally important that Ruud keeps that strong unit together in there.
It's a massive part of football, that togetherness on the football pitch. You can't leave your players out on the pitch, you know, hanging dry. You know, if someone's closing down on himself, you need another player to go up and back him up. You know, you can't just rely on one player to do all the work and then you think, oh, well, if I go there, I might be out of position. I think it's such a team sport, football, that everyone has to pull in the right direction. And it starts from in the changing room, people getting on with each other, you know, going out for meals together as a team. All this counts for when you go out on the football pitch. And we need to see more of that. I don't think they haven't got it. I just need to see more of it. Yeah. You know, working with each other on the pitch.
Yeah, no, that's a good line. They just come out with, you know, we need to see more. I'm not saying it doesn't mean you just heard. Of course it means, but you need to see. And I'll go back to West Ham at home. I want to see bodies flying all over the show, sticking the head in where it hurts, you know, crunching tackles. I know that's not the way the game's played anymore, but for a short period of time, Leicester need to do something different. And that's, you start with those kind of basic, you know, rules and structures. Whereas, you know, if we're going to win a game, we're going to have to start doing something slightly different than what we're doing, because what we're doing at the minute isn't working. Yeah. They need to find a way to start making things work for them.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the teams in just a moment that will hopefully be doing that from a Leicester point of view. Firstly, though, we're just seeing, again on the other screen, Tottenham, their defenders warming up. They're being, well, either kick balls in the air to head or chase balls there. There's the back four there. Porro, Dragusin, Davis and Archie Gray, with Archie Gray at left back and Davis playing in central defence. Obviously, Davis traditionally is a left back. Archie Gray's traditionally a midfielder, but we've seen him play an awful lot of this season at centre back. That's clearly a change that they're doing, Nuge. An interesting one. Yeah, well, Archie Gray, he's done it so well. I think he's centre off, you know, when he's played there. But and Ben Davis being a natural left back's a bit strange. Him going centre back for Archie Gray. I don't know. Maybe it's something they worked on in training and it's worked. But you know, still, I still think this defence is
you can get a lot in this game. Like,
I never understood this in a warm-up. You know, this back four, the back four, and I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
In terms of,
Well,
you'd never be that
Why they do
close.
it? Because they're 10 yards apart from each other. On a pitch, you're 70, you know, you've got one full back 70 yards away from the next full back. So you cannot replicate what's going to happen in a real game being 10 yards apart from each other. I don't get my head, but obviously, you know, it's not. But all I can say, it's not worked for Tottenham lately, has it? I'm doing that.
I'm sure they do it on the training pitch as well. You got all week to do it on the training pitch, and they come out and do it on
absolutely. And believe you me, I used to have to do it as a coach when I was coaching. Right, I used to have to do that, and I just used to think this is a waste of time. You're not learning anything, but it's a trend in football. If you ask me this, as Nuge says, spend all week doing it on the training pitch in a full-size pitch, where your distances and your gaps are more realistic to what's actually going to happen on a match day, not 10 yards apart. And if you don't know what you're doing as a fullback or a centre half, then I'm sorry.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. It's coming from Jerry at 13 minutes before kickoff. While Jerry gets off his soapbox, let's take a look at today's team news again. Leicester themselves, through Ruud van Nistelrooy, have made one change to the team that lost to Fulham just over a week ago. Stolarsk's in goal, Christensen, Vestergaard, Fast and Justin across the back four. Winks and Samare in midfield with Dekod over Reed, El Khanous and Jordan Ayew in behind Jamie Vardy. From a Tottenham point of view, they make two changes to the team that beat Hoffenheim in midweek. They're injury ravaged as well. Tottenham, this is how they line up. No space in the 11 nor on the bench for James Maddison. Kinski is in goal. Gray, Davis, Dragusin and Porro. There we go. We've got Gray at left back as well in that graphic. Bentancur and Sarr in midfield with Son, Bergvall and Kulusevski in behind Richarlison. This fixture between these two teams, I think it's been played 35 times in the Premier League, averages 3.7 goals a game.
Wow.
So 3-2 Leicester.
Get it on your coupon, goals galore, whatever you call it.
Do you see that being the case again today?
I think there will be goals, just the way both teams play. But as we said, we want to see a different side to Leicester, don't we? Where we're fighting for our lives and, as Jerry said, you know, putting your head in where it doesn't hurt. You know, Tottenham will play the same way no matter what. They're going to play a high line. We've got to play to that advantage and put balls over the top early doors and get them behind their back four, because I think we can hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard me rattle on today about, you know, we need to do something slightly different and this, that and the other. But I think, I'm not saying it's a problem. I think the issue, and nobody's got a bigger issue than the Tottenham fans with their manager, with the style of football, and him saying, I'm not changing for anybody, this is the way I play football, and this is the way I'm going to continue to play football, and what will be, and stuff like that he's come out with. And sometimes it's an issue where managers are not willing to change their style. And I think if Ruud can just tweak a few little things, and Ange Postecoglou just plays the way they can, then Leicester will obviously have a decent chance of getting something out of this game. You know, it's as simple as that for me. Tweak a few things, whether that's mentally, structurally, whatever, and hopefully you'll see a better side, a different side of this Leicester team.
Hopefully so. Thank you to Jerry, to Nuge. We'll hear from you again at half-time and then again at full-time, where hopefully we can talk about Leicester breaking that run of defeats. Tottenham themselves in a bad run of form as well. Just one Premier League win in their last 10. So there is a chance down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the Foxes to get a result. Can that man on the right there, Jamie Vardy, continue his great record against Tottenham, having scored, of course, against them earlier in the season? We'll find out. Live commentary coming up next here on Foxes Hub.